Need of a braking system. In an automobile vehicle, braking system is needed to stop the moving vehicle, to deaccelerate the moving vehicle, for stable parking of a vehicle either on a flat surface or on a slope, as a precaution for accidents, to prevent the vehicle from any damage due to road conditions. Classification of braking system. As we have already discussed, the evolution of braking system from vintage carts to modern cars, from vintage carriages to modern trucks, has given us various different purpose braking systems which are classified on the basis of various needs and purposes of an automobile vehicle. So let's just discuss them. 1. On the basis of power source. The power source which carries the pedal force applied by the driver on brake pedal to the final brake drum or brake disc in order to deaccelerate or stop the vehicle. The braking systems are of 6 types. Mechanical braking system, hydraulic braking system, air or pneumatic braking system, vacuum braking system, magnetic braking system, electric braking system. 2. On the basis of frictional braking contact. On the basis of the final friction contact made between the rotating brake components, i.e. brake drum or disc rotor, and the brake shoe. The braking systems are of 2 types. Internal expanding brakes, e.g. drum brakes. External contracting brakes, e.g. disc brakes. 3. On the basis of application. On the basis of method of applying brakes, braking systems are of 2 types. Foot or service brakes. Hand or parking brakes. 4. On the basis of brake force distribution. Single-acting brakes. Dual-acting brakes. Detailed description of different types of braking systems. On power source basis. 1. Mechanical brakes. It is the type of braking system in which the brake force applied by the driver on the brake pedal is transferred to the final brake drum or disc rotor through the various mechanical linkages like cylindrical rods, fulcrums, springs, etc. in order to deaccelerate or stop the vehicle. Mechanical brakes were used in various old automobile vehicles, but they are obsolete nowadays due to their less effectiveness. 2. Hydraulic brakes. It is the type of braking system in which the brake force applied by the driver on brake pedal is first converted into hydraulic pressure by master cylinder. For reference, read article on master cylinder. Then this hydraulic pressure from master cylinder is transferred to the final brake drum or disc rotor through brake lines. Instead of mechanical linkages, brake fluid is used in hydraulic brakes for the transmission of brake pedal force in order to stop or deaccelerates the vehicle. Almost all the bikes and cars on the road today are equipped with the hydraulic braking system due to its high effectiveness and high brake force generating capability. 3. Air or pneumatic brakes. It is the types of braking system in which atmospheric air through compressors and valves is used to transmit brake pedal force from brake pedal to the final drum or disc rotor. Air brakes are mainly used in heavy vehicles like buses and trucks because hydraulic brakes fails to transmit high brake force through greater distance, and also pneumatic brakes generates higher brake force than hydraulic brake, which is the need of the heavy vehicle. The chances of brake failure is less in case of pneumatic brakes, as they are usually equipped with a reserve air tank which comes in action when there is a brake failure due to leakage in brake lines. High-end cars these days are using air brake system due to its effectiveness and fail-proof ability. 4. Vacuum brakes. It is the conventional type of braking system in which the vacuum inside the brake lines causes brake pads to move, which in turn finally stops or deaccelerates the vehicle. The exhauster, main cylinder, brake lines, valves along with disc rotor or drum are the main components that combine together to make a vacuum braking system. Vacuum brakes were used in older conventional trains and are replaced with air brakes nowadays because of their less effectiveness and slow braking. Vacuum brakes are cheaper than air brakes but are less safe than air brakes. 5. Magnetic brakes. In this types of braking system, the magnetic field generated by permanent magnets is used to cause the braking of the vehicle. It works on the principle that when we pass a magnet through a Cooper tube, eddy current is generated and the magnetic field generated by this eddy current provide magnetic braking. This is the frictionless braking system, thus there is less or no wear and tear. This is the advanced technology in which no pressure is needed to cause braking. The response to the braking in this is quite quick as compared to other braking systems. 6. Electrical brakes. It is type of braking used in electric vehicle in which braking is produced using the electrical motors, which is the main source of power in electric vehicles. It is further divided into 3 types. Plugging brakes. When the brake pedal is pressed in the electric vehicle equipped with plugging braking, the polarity of the motors changes, which in turn reverses the direction of the motor and causes the braking. Regenerative braking. It is the type of electrical braking in which at the time of braking the motor, which is the main power source of the vehicle, becomes the generator, i.e. when brakes are applied, the power supply to the motor cuts off, due to which the mechanical energy from the wheels becomes the rotating force for the motor, which in turn converts this mechanical energy into the electric energy, which is further stored in the battery. Regenerative braking saves the energy and are widely used in today's electric vehicles. Tesla Model S provides the most effective regenerative braking. Dynamic or rheostat braking. It is the type of electrical braking in which resistance provided by the rheostat causes the actual braking. In this type, a rheostat is attached to the circuit that provides the resistance to the motor, which is responsible for deceleration or stopping of the vehicle. On frictional contact basis. 1. Drum brakes or internal expanding brakes. It is the type of brake system in which a drum, which is the housing of the brake shoes along with actuation mechanism, is attached with the wheel hub in such a fashion that the outer part of the drum rotates with the wheel and inner part remains constant. When brakes are applied, the actuating mechanism, wheel cylinder or mechanical linkage, causes the brake shoes to expand, due to which the outer frictional surface of the brake shoes makes frictional contact with the rotating drum part, which in turn stops or deaccelerate the vehicle. 2. Disc brake or external contracting brakes. It is the types of braking system in which instead of a drum assembly, a disc rotor attached to the hub of the wheel in such a fashion that it rotates with the wheel. This disc rotor is clamped in between the caliper, which is rigidly fixed with the knuckle or upright of the vehicle. This caliper used as the housing of the brake shoes along with the actuation mechanism, mechanical linkages or caliper cylinder. When the brakes are applied, the actuation mechanism contracts the attached brake shoes, which in turn makes the frictional contact with the rotating disc rotor and causes the braking of the vehicle. On application basis. 1. Service brake or foot brakes. It is the type of brakes in which the brakes are applied when the driver presses the brake pedal mounted inside the cockpit or at the foot space of the vehicle with his foot. This pedal force applied by the driver is further multiplied and sent to the braking drum or disc either by mechanical linkages or by hydraulic pressure, which in turn causes braking. In cars, foot-operated brakes are used, and in bikes the combination of foot and hand-operated brakes are used. 2. Hand brake or parking brake. This type of brakes are also known as emergency brake, as they are independent of the main service brake. Hand brakes consists of a hand-operated brake lever which is connected to the brake drum or disc rotor through the metallic cable. When hand brake lever is pulled, tension is created in the metallic rod, which in turn actuates the brake drum or disc rotor mechanism, and final braking occurs. Hand brakes are usually used for stable parking of the vehicle either on flat road or slope. That is why it is also called parking brakes. On brake force distribution basis. 1. Single acting brakes. It is the type of braking in which brake force is transferred to either a pair of wheels in cars or to the single wheel in bikes through single actuation mechanism, mechanical linkages or master cylinder. These types of braking system is commonly used in bikes or in light-purpose vehicles. 2. Dual-acting brakes. It is the type of braking in which the brake force is transferred to all the wheels of the vehicle through dual actuation mechanism, tandem master cylinder or mechanical linkages. This type of braking is used in cars as well as in heavy-purpose vehicle. If you liked this information, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.